Hey guys, welcome back. Almost forgot to add myself to the stage again. Welcome back. This is the second night in a row for a live stream. I'm glad to see everybody here tonight. Just trying to get in some live streams because this might be the last one that I will be able to do till after Christmas. As far as live streams, I'll have some videos and stuff to upload. But yeah, I know just like everybody else, we're going to be busy. We need to take a break and spend some time with our families and enjoy the holidays or whatever the case may be. So, but after last night, because last night was our Tuesday night edition of Missing Person Monday, because I was very busy Monday and just didn't have the time to get everything ready to do it Monday night. So last night I just pulled some missing person cases from the solvethecase.org website. And so today when I was working, it was a little bit slow. It came in fits and starts. I would get a whole bunch of orders at one time, and then for an hour it'd be slow. So during my downtime, I got back on solvethecase.org, and I started looking. They also have Unsolved Homicides. So I'm thinking, we usually center on or concentrate on missing persons, but these unsolved homicides are also very important. So I went through and pulled, I think, 12 of these, and these are not going to be deep dive, in depth. It's just going to be basic information, but I thought it would be kind of a jumping off point to maybe inspire some other creators, or just even you in the community who are interested in unsolved cases, cold cases, to research or see what you guys can dig up about some of these cases. So like I said, I have 12 of them, all from solvethecase.org. The description or the link to solvethecase.org is in the description box, as always. So please, I encourage you, when you get some free time, go over there. Just it has you can click on browse cases, and you just scroll down, and whatever catches your eye, they have current cases, newer cases, they have cold cases. It just runs the gamut. So that is what I thought we would take a look at tonight. So I hope you guys enjoy it or find it not so much enjoy it because it's homicide cases, but find it informative, interesting. Like I said, maybe to inspire some of you guys to do some research for yourself on some of these cases. And I probably will go back in the future and take these cases individually and do videos on them, or if there's one that's just really, really intriguing with a lot of information and a lot of red flags and stuff, we might do live streams in the future on some of those cases. But let me see, we got a lot of people in here. Thank you so much for being in here for 2 nights in a row. Of course, we got our friend Arctic. Hello, T. Good to see you. Always good to see Arctic. Please do check out, if you haven't already, please check out Arctic. Wonderful, wonderful human being. Wonderful channel. Miss Paula is here again. Hello, Miss Paula. Miss Paula's always here. We appreciate Miss Paula so much for her support. Our Dandy is back again tonight. Hello, Dandy. I hope you're doing well. Miss Marion is here. Oh, she says, hello, everyone. Just got back from a funeral. I'm so sorry. Thoughts, prayers to you. I just got back from a funeral today. I will like and share to groups. Thank you all for putting our stories out there about our loved ones. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know whose funeral you had to go to, but I wish all you guys, like I said, thoughts, prayers, and good vibes coming your way, most definitely. Mr. James is here. The taters, both the taters are here. That's what we talked about last night. I think Mr. James said the taters are here. He says, so sorry. No, nobody ever apologized for anything. I just had a lot to do today, but hello, everyone. Thank you so much for everything you do for everyone else. God bless you all. Thank you. Absolutely. God bless you, Mr. James. Let's see who we got here. Sunday is back. Hello, Sunday. Good to see you. The Spice Girl is back. Hello, Miss Lisa Joe. And I don't know if you saw it, but you commented, I think, on last night's live stream that your Spicy Bud or something would be here. And that reminded me of the Spice Girls from back in the day. So I'm trying to decide which Spice Girl you are. Probably, I can't even, I'm trying to think of all of them. You'd probably be Scary Spice. You had Scary Spice. You had what? Posh Spice, Baby Spice, Sporty Spice. I don't know the other ones. I can't even remember how many there were. But I'm going to start calling Miss Lisa Joe Scary Spice. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah. Sunday said, we missed you last night, Arctic. We had trolls. Yeah, we had actually, my first time that I think Arctic may have banned a couple before, but yeah, I don't even know who it was. I didn't recognize the name. Came in and started spouting off. I don't even know what they were talking about, but I banned them, got rid of them. So unless they come in with a different name, different profile, then we, around here, we just, I try to stay in my lane and, do what I do. And so I don't know what that was all about last night, but it was dealt with. And I'm sure Arctic was, he needs a break, just like we all do, or he could have been busy. So, yeah, you missed the excitement. Yeah, like I said, it was, what was it? I don't even want to say that. It was green something. And I don't even know. They called me a moron for about something. So I don't know. Said I didn't know what I was talking about. I don't even know what we were talking about when it came up. But anyway, they were dealt with, so no worries. Yeah, Chris says we had people here who were opposite of positive. Absolutely. And we all, it's all positive around here. There is Miss Barbara. Hello, Miss Barbara. Always good to have Miss Barbara here. Absolutely. I hope you're doing well, Miss Barbara. And speaking of Miss Barbara and the taters, once again, as always, all the links to Timmy's Legacy Foundation are in the description box. The link to the YouTube channel, the Facebook group, the petition to sign is in there. Also, the John Brent McGee petition, new petition, is in there to sign if you haven't already. Arctic's Amber Alert petition is there. So if you haven't signed any of those petitions, please sign them. If you have signed them, as always, share them anywhere and everywhere you can. All important stuff. Important stuff. And most of the links to all our friend channels are in there. You can also find all of our friend channel links are in the on the main page of this channel. So please do visit each and every one of them if you haven't already. Yeah, that's true. Arctic said, unfortunately, some people just can't behave themselves. Yeah, like I said, it just came out of nowhere. I'm you know, I don't know what was going on, but anyway, yeah, Sunday says, well, to be fair, we can't either. So there's that. Yeah. Yeah. Lisa was well behaved. Miss Lisa's are you talking about Lisa Joe? Miss Lisa is always well behaved. She's spicy. She's spicy, but she's well behaved. Yeah, so speaking of Arctic, I'm gonna have to go back because I think I might have missed the beginning of it, but he did a video premiere. I got to watch most of it when I was working on the Shannon Polk case. So I will, you can go to his channel and find it. I will share it on my community tab. He has shared it on Facebook because I did see it on there today. So please check out that. Always good stuff from Arctic. Like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the beginning of what I missed. Yeah, I don't know if you're listening to that one, Miss Barbara, but that's the one that I was. That's the one that I was watching today. Sunday says I got aggravated at the crap investigation on the one case. Which case are you talking about? Are you talking about from one last night? Miss Lisa Joe says she was down for a brawl yesterday. I have a feeling, sister, you're down for a brawl just about any time if the situation warrants. We got your back. We got your back, Miss Lisa Joe. Yes, absolutely. Good to see everybody here this evening. Yeah. Arctic says Miss Lisa Joe's always up for a game of SmackDown. Yeah, we got to play the rock and lay the SmackDown on some candy horses. Yes, Arctic tell Miss Barb, just know I'm here if you need to talk. Absolutely. Oh yes, Miss Lisa Joe. I would watch. Yes, Miss Lisa Joe needs a channel. If not, but to go off on people, to be spicy, Yep, Artie says she'd definitely be good at it. Yes, yes. Artie says she would definitely be good at it. She'd be damn good at calling out the tragedy pimps. Absolutely. Oh goodness. Make sure I got everybody in here. That would be interesting. Sunday says, I want to record myself calling Ellie about cold cases and their problem. I would watch that, most definitely. Oh, you need a channel, Miss Lisa Joe. So the people who are affected by this guy needs a voice. I think Sunday would be. Y'all gonna have to clue me in on who that person is. I've not heard of that one. Sunday says basically I'd record myself getting hung up on repeatedly. Keep calling back. Keep calling back. There's Miss Farr from Australia. Hello, Farr. Good to see you. I'm sorry if I feel like either I'm shrinking or my chair is falling. I feel like I'm getting shorter. Good to have you here, Farr, as always. Maybe, so Sunday's said that they were a handful, so maybe Sunday and Lisa Joe need to start a channel together. Just saying, just saying. Hey, Snark, we need some Snark. Snark is good. Yeah, that's why I was wondering. I didn't want to say it out loud. Who I'm assuming you're referring to, who we CB. Dandy was asking who is CB. All right, I'm just getting caught up, and then we will get started. I just don't want to miss anybody. Oh, so I'll have to check out Miss Lisa Jo's Facebook and learn all about this person. There's Michigan Wifey. Hello, Michigan Wifey. Good to have you here, my dear. I hope you're staying warm. Hope you're staying warm. Always good to see you here. I know it just seems weird me being here on a Wednesday. Doing a live stream on a Wednesday. Well, I said I just wanted to get in as many as I could for you guys before the holiday. There's a slight possibility, not a guarantee, that I might Friday night be able to do like a late night live stream. It just depends on what got family coming in, so I don't know when they're going to be here. So I might be with family Friday, but if not, we might possibly do a late night true crime after dark. Maybe just something light, no true crime, just get in the mood for the holidays. Thank you, Dandy. Dandy got the link in for Arctic. Thank you so much, ma'am. So Chris knows about this crazy man too. Y'all, okay, I'm gonna have to go when we get done here. Go to Facebook and check it out. There's our Dave. Hello, Dave. Our Al on the Prowl. He is checking in before work. Hello, Dave. Thank you for checking in. Please, absolutely, as always, check out Al on the Prowl, our friend Dave. Dave, be careful out there driving and listening, because I know that's what you'll be doing. If your signal holds out, that is. Always good to see Dave. Thank you. Arctic has got Dave's channel in there. There's Miss Peggy. Hello, Miss Peggy. Good to have you here, ma'am. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, a new name or a new name to me, TNJ's live chat. Hey, Southern Gal and everyone. I'm on other channel because can't see all chat on other one. Okay. Well, welcome. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Yeah, I was almost late. Me and Mom was watching some Christmas stuff on the DVR, and I kind of lost track of time, but that's all right. I was here basically on time. Oh, so Michigan Wifey says the police have been draining ponds on a property next to my son's. I don't know why, but they told him it was a serious criminal investigation. There are missing people around here. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. But then again, if they have missing persons and they do find somebody or find something, then at least they're found, and whoever it may be, their family can get some closure. But that's just, yeah, if you can, Michigan Wifey, next time we're on, I don't know if you're on Facebook or not, or you can let us know. You can always just leave a comment on any of my community posts or anything, and just tag me or in something. And if you get any updates that you can divulge about that situation, because that is very very intriguing. Thank you, ma'am. Dandy got Dave's channel in. Thank you so much. Yeah, Arctic said the unsolved homicides are some of the hardest to cover. I know, like I said, when I was sitting today waiting for orders to come in, I was doing Spark today. Sorry. Was just scrolling through the solvethecase.org website, and kept coming across all these cold case. Well, they had, like I said, they have them from this year all the way. I think the oldest one tonight that I have may be one from like 1964. So yeah, so I said that'll, we do missing persons for the most part, but these unsolved homicides are Like I said, once again, it's not going to be deep dives with a whole lot of information, basically just the information that was given on the website. But like I said, kind of a jumping off point for me and for anybody else out there who might take one, or take one of these cases and just one or more and just kind of look into it, see what you can dig up about any of them. Yeah, absolutely. If that's if y'all know T&J, I've never heard of T&J's live chat, but if you guys know who it is and know that it's the kind of channel that we like, that we endorse around here, absolutely throw the link in for sure. There's Miss Miranda. She's back. Good to have you back, Miss Miranda. Absolutely. Sunday says, I'd like to look into the one from last night. Which one are you talking about? The missing, because we did, I think, 12 missing persons last night. Once again, with just the basic, no deep dive, just basic information that I am going to go back when I get the chance to start working on those and seeing what other information I can find on those. But yeah, Sunday, if there's one in particular, definitely let us know. Patriotism is back with us tonight. Welcome back. Good to have you back. Say a hi, I couldn't miss it. Absolutely. We are so glad to have you here. So good to have you here. Thank you very much. Dandy put in T&J's link in. Thank you so much. I'll have to go check it out. Absolutely. Miss Lisa Joe has people sending her unsolved homicide cases. Excellent. Arctic says, has anyone seen Mata Hari? I haven't seen her, all day. I have not, but I have not been on a lot today. I don't even think I got to watch. I got to watch maybe 5 minutes of you guys on Dago, the meatballs in the morning while I was getting ready for work. I know she pops in there a lot of times, but other than that, and then watching Arctic's premiere video that he did, that's about all I had time to watch today. Yes, you're the Spice Girl. Do you just want to be the Spice Girl, or do you want to be Scary Spice, or you can make up your own name? We'll just call you the Spice Girl. We have a Spice Girl here. We have a celebrity here. There we go. Bitchy Spice. That's what Lisa Joe wants. That's the Spice Girl she wants to be. All right, we got you. We got you. Biatchy Spice. That's what we'll call you. Chris said crazy Spice. Oh, you guys are killing me. I love it. Crazy Spice. Yeah, touche. Yep, touche. I don't think Miss Lisa Joe's crazy. She's spicy. She knows her mind, and she's very has a very strong personality. With kudos to her. Absolutely. Snarky Spicy, that you can have a pick of names. Snarky Spice. I like that one too. That's good. You are coming up with some good ones. Petty Spice. We're gonna have a whole. Miss Lisa Joe is going to be the reincarnation of the whole group, Spice Girls, the new incarnation of the Spice Girls, all by herself. She's going to play every role. Oh, goodness. And there's Miss PJ. Hello, Miss PJ. Good to have you here, ma'am. Yes, that was the name. I'm not going to say it out loud, but yeah, that was the name. If any of you guys or gals, when I say guys, for anybody new here, I mean guys and gals. If any of you have seen, I'm going the wrong way. That name, anywhere else or know who that may be, that was who was coming in last night with the problems. So I've never heard of them before. I don't know. No clue where they came from, what they were talking about. I just know that whoever it was said I was a moron and I didn't know what I was talking about, but they didn't elaborate on what I didn't know I was talking about. All I was talking about was missing persons. The only other thing I can think of was before, and just an aside for a minute, and then I promise we'll get to our case or unsolved homicides, is before we started doing our missing persons, I did put up the petition for the John Britt McGee case. Now, and I'm not saying this has anything to do with that, but I know that in that case there's some stuff going on with that between people. Now, that might not have anything to do with it, or it could have just been some random person that came in that just happened to be scrolling on YouTube and would say, hey, I'm just going to go pick a random live stream. It happened to be mine that just wants to come in and cause trouble. I mean, that's most likely what it was, but I don't know. That's the only two possibilities I can think, because that's all, like I said, that's all we were talking about, that, and then we went into the missing persons. So anyway. Yeah, Miranda's telling Dave he was playing hard to get last night. Well, last night Dave is usually when he's working, he's driving and listening. So a lot of times he's paying attention to driving, rightfully so, and can't always acknowledge everybody. So we always love having Dave here, and we absolutely want him to be safe. Miss PJ says, I'm here. I promise I won't block too many people tonight. Hey, no, if you see anybody, because I get behind in chat when I am reading through when I'm trying to concentrate on. So if anybody sees anything that's out of the ordinary or mean, nasty things that we don't tolerate here, delete and ban. We're still having spice names. Sunday said Hammer Spice. Well, Mr. Steve is back again. Hello, Mr. Steve, one of our favorite people in the whole world, the national treasure. Thank you, Mr. Steve. I hope you are enjoying getting some rest, enjoying family time, enjoying those grandbabies, enjoying the aughts. But thank you for dropping in for a little bit. Please do check out True Crime Web. I'm sure somebody's probably already dropped the link in the chat. Absolutely. And it's also in the description box, along with the others. But it's always an honor when Mr. Steve pops in. He is a wonderful, wonderful human being. Oh, goodness. Arctic says, I have to put the phone away after 6 some days or I'll be on YouTube all night. Yeah, I find myself sometimes, if I'm, especially on the weekends during football season, because depending on, especially on Sundays with NFL, now on college games, you have a peak of at least on satellite of 20,000 games you can watch, so I can usually find something to keep me entertained. But on Sundays, I only have whatever they're showing on the local channels, whatever they're showing on CBS or Fox. So if those games are boring, I'll just pick up my phone and start scrolling through shorts on YouTube, and I'll look up and, the game is over. And I'm like, well, wasn't that interesting anyway? So, but yeah, and everything that pops up is either true crime related, funny animal videos, or music videos. So that gives you an idea of what I look at on YouTube. Oh, goodness. Miranda says she'd be lonely Spice or needy Spice. Oh, Miranda. All right. Dave said he was trying to, from last night, he was trying to avoid Mr. Steve in his headlights. Yeah. Mr. Steve told Dave that he would be the one with the high beams on. Oh, goodness. All right. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yep. Thank you, Arctic. Got Mr. Steve's link in. John Montgomery, private investigator, is back tonight. Thank you so much for being here. So I hope everyone is doing well tonight. Absolutely, we are doing well. We hope you are doing well. Thank you for coming back and not being scared off. You know, Miss Lisa Joe was laughing at Far's avatar. I can't see. I'm gonna have to. I can't read it on my small. It's so small on my computer. I'll have to check it out when I get on my phone and I can enlarge it. All right, let me get caught up and yes, I saw you, Miss PJ. Yeah, I'm always behind in comments. I'm always behind me in comments. Yes. Patriotism says, Lisa Joe, if you did a channel, I would watch you 24/7. I would too. Yes. Mr. Steve says, okay, so I understand fully. I'm the normal level-headed one in chat tonight. Yes. You have to keep us all in line tonight. That is your duty. That is your assignment for the night. Oh goodness. Oh, okay, Sunday, the Jermaine Charlo case. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, like I said, Dave, he's probably listening. Dave, here a while back, probably about a month or so ago, on one of his live streams, gave some information about the Jermaine Charlo case. Yes, I definitely want to look into that one some more also. Oh, Miss PJ says she's here for a little bit. I have to shockingly cover a class tomorrow. Oh goodness. When do schools get out for Christmas break now? I think I remember when I was in school, and that's been 100 years ago. We used to get out, I think, for a week or 2 weeks for Christmas break. Oh, Miss PJ's covering a teacher. Yeah, that's what I do. Artie says, yeah, the deep dives will send you down every rabbit hole imaginable. I definitely went down several with Shannon's case. Yes. Yeah, that Shannon Polk's case is just one of those cases. As PJ says, the ones in New England are interesting, mostly the possibility of a serial offender. See, I think Dave has mentioned that. All right, I'm just trying to get caught up. Just when I think I get caught up. Oh, y'all killing me with the spice names. Thank you, Patriotism, for subbing to Miss PJ, lighting their way home. Yeah, that's true. Miranda says, to be a creator, you need to have thick skin. Unfortunately, there are rude people who try to cause trouble. Yeah. Like I said, they can say whatever they want to me. They can call me whatever names that they want to call me, but I just don't like it. I don't like anybody coming in and causing trouble in chat, because you guys are all fantastic, and just whenever somebody comes in and starts causing trouble in chat, that's what irritates me. I said I have thick skin. They can call me anything they want to call me or say whatever they want to say to me, but I don't like it disrupting you guys in chat. All right, I'm going to mark that right here. Oh, mark that right there. We will get started before people start leaving. We have 20 people here. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's in chat. Thank you to our lurkers. We love our lurkers. Thank you to our replay crew. If you're watching on replay, please do leave a comment. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to share. That is the most important thing. Okay, so the first one we're going to take a look at is Norma Jean Wilson, and this one is from 1989. November 23rd, 1989 is from Fort Wayne, Indiana. On November 24th, 1989, at approximately 12 p.m., Norma Jean Wilson was discovered in a room at 3003 West Coliseum Boulevard. She was at a motel. She was discovered, and oh, hold on, let me put up my banner, because there is some of these details on some of these are triggering. So always, I'll try to forewarn you on the ones that are have some, because there are some that are a little bit a lot triggering, but but I always like to put up the banner. Okay, so let me get back over here. So Norma was discovered naked in a bed. She appeared to have been beaten. Detectives discovered a hat with the name Ormsby Trucking in the room. A hotel receipt showed that Norma had checked into the room the day before, and a customer in the room next to Norma's advised that he had heard a male and female talking the night before. And that's basically all the information. She was, doesn't even say how old she was. Didn't say how old she was, but I said, this is just a jumping off point for anybody, try to inspire myself and anybody else who wants to dig deeper into some of these cases. So it'd be interesting to know in this one if this, whoever was in the next room heard any kind of, they just said that they heard talking, a male and a female talking. So you would think, unless he just said that there would be, if she was being beaten, you would have heard sounds of a struggle, possibly her screaming. So that's what intrigued me, or what I thought of when I read that, about all the person next door said was that they heard a male and a female talking. So, like I said, you would think that there would be banging around. Now it could be that whatever, just throwing out possibilities, thoughts here. She could have been gagged and couldn't make any noise. That could be the case, unfortunately. But if you have any information regarding this case, once it comes up, you can call the Fort Wayne Police Department at 260-427-1230. I'm going to try to do a couple of these at a time, and then I'll stop and check chat. This isn't, this one was from 1974. This is Tanya Lynn Moore. I'll turn off my camera for a minute while I'm reading. Let me get her information. There it is. This occurred in 1974, in April of 1974, in San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles, California. Tanya Lynn Moore was a 17-year-old. She was actually from Portsmouth, Ohio. When she went missing from her home in Mount Gilead, Ohio, a missing report was filed. And on May 20, well, this is kind of confusing. It says date of offense was April 9th, 1974. That might have been the estimated TOD. But on May 25th of 1973, she was found in the San Fernando Valley, Los Angeles, California. Trigger warning, trigger warning. She had been decapitated, dismembered, and she was in 3 separate garbage bags, and she was found behind a motel. Once again, these dates, I'm gonna have to look into these. The dates are confusing. So she was found behind a motel on April 9th, 1974. So maybe the missing persons report was filed on May 25th, 1973. So she was found behind a motel on April 9th, 1974. Apparently, she had gone to California to model. Her offender has never been found. And on this one, and bear with me, guys, on as we get deeper into these other ones, they do, some of these other ones do have a lot more information. But yeah, this one is just horrible, 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 as they all are. But I mean, they said she was decapitated, dismembered, put in 3 separate garbage bags. To me, please let me know. And we have Mr. Steve here. He can give his input. When I hear things, and it's probably just me jumping to immediate serial offender, but when you hear somebody was decapitated, dismembered, and put in 3 separate garbage bags, kind of gives off serial offender vibes, or it just, I don't know. It could probably be totally something different, but very, very strange indeed. And she was, oh yeah, she was 17 years old. And in that picture, she looks older than 17. Beautiful young lady. But if you have any information on this case, on Tanya's case, you can call the San Fernando Police Department at 818-898-1267. Let me get the next one going, and I will check comments right quick and then do a couple more. Oh, always forget to turn my camera back on. Oh goodness. Okay. So Miss Lisa Joe says I got really into cow hoof trimming videos. Random as, you know, I get into weird, certain kinds of videos are like very relaxing to me. They help calm my anxiety, and it depends on what it is. And it could just be something like that. Now, I don't think I've ever watched. Now, I've seen cow hoof trimming done in person back when, because when growing up, when we were kids, when my grandparents were still alive and still they farmed and they raised cattle. So they would trim hooves. So I have seen that done in person. Now, I don't know if I would find that soothing or not. Be interesting though, very interesting. But yeah, I find just random things just helps calm me and soothe my anxiety and my nerves. So I can see where you're coming from, Lisa Joe. Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Artie says, I guess I'm lucky that I can give 0 F's about what anyone has to say about me. I'm the same way. I said last night that so much what they were saying to me didn't bother me, but I hate it for you guys that was in chat last night to have to see and hear, see that, and just disrupts our harmony that we have here. Let's see. There's a Mustang 1965. Good to see you. Good to see you. Absolutely. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Yeah, and if you guys on any of these cases that we're reading, if you have any thoughts or opinions, or you have what could have happened, just throw it in chat. Just maybe try to put, if you remember the name, what name, which one you're talking about, or I'll get confused, because you know how I am. I get confused very easily. Absolutely. Justice for TIMMY'S, always. Once again, all the links, Facebook or YouTube channel, Facebook group, petition are all in the description box, as always. I keep wanting to say TJ. T&J says we had longer breaks. So you're talking about the like Christmas breaks from school? Yeah, I'm thinking when I was in school, we had, I think, 2 weeks, maybe. Miss PJ says for 2 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, that was our longest. Of course, spring break was a week, and then we get out for the, like Labor Day weekend, and I don't know, we might not have. But I remember spring break, and then our Christmas break, and then, of course, summer break. Thank you. Patriotism said they subscribe to T&J live chat. I'm just going to call you TJ for short. I hope that's okay. Absolutely. Mr. Steve said hello, Mustang, and everyone else so kindly said hello. Absolutely. Oh, hey, Anna Lizette. Good to have you here. I always see you speaking to Mr. Steve. I usually see you in Mr. Steve's chats. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Says Indiana, oldness got her. Possibility. Those dang oldness are everywhere, I'm telling you. It was good to see you here, Anna. Thank you so much for coming in. Miranda says, are you talking about Tanya's case? Said they should have DNA on this one. That is true. Yeah, because yeah, she was found in the hotel room. Oh no, this was the dismemberment one. If you're talking about this one, Miranda. Yeah, possibly. But it all depends. It's from 1974. But yeah, if they, and Mr. Steve can tell you, can attest, DNA, investments in DNA are vastly better than they were from 1974 to 2024. Absolutely. Mr. Steve says, with today's technology, you would think Norma's case will be resolved with proper scene processing. Norma. Yes, there's Norma. She was the one that was in the hotel. Yes, absolutely. And it was from 1989. So yeah, absolutely. Yep. You would hope that, like I said, I'm going to try to work through, because I do like to, like I said, we feature mostly missing persons here, but I do like to delve sometimes into these unsolved homicides. So I'm going to try to maybe start with these 12 and take maybe one a week or so, and do an unsolved, do just like a short video, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how much information I can find on whatever case it is, and try to find some more information and put out videos. Yes, that is absolutely an issue. Miss Lisa Joe says scene processing is usually an issue. You are correct. Hey, Aquarian One, good to have you here. Good to see you. Says hi, Southern Gal and friends. Absolutely. Good to see everybody here tonight. I'm so excited. Lisa Joe says processing anything seems like it was a stretch back then. Yeah, Mr. Steve says surely they secured bedding and clothing. You would think. Yes, we hope so. Yep. That's why I love having we love having Mr. Steve here anyway. Whether he's giving words of wisdom as he always does, or if he's just, like he says, letting his hair down and having fun in chat, which is, we love when he does that. Mr. Steve is a funny guy. I'm telling you. Let me get caught up right quick. Yeah. Miss Lisa just said, talking Arctic. Ooh, ancient cases. I think I have one. I think I included it from like 1964, I believe. If I didn't include it here, I will go back and find it and do a video on it. Lisa Jo said that's her jam. Ancient cases are her jam, or your jam. So what is this? Did you Arctic made something? Did he make a crack about ancient cases? I don't know. It's probably no in Arctic. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of cold cases. He says, ironically, I've been doing more cases from the Dark Ages than anything lately. Yeah, and Lisa just says there's no shortage, unfortunately. Absolutely. Miss Anna says there were a lot of creeps running around back then. What was Rodney Alcala doing back then? The dating, he was a dating game offender. He traveled the East Coast to Southern California and back. That is a good point. Chris says, let me go on the right one, that Tanya's case is one that he's going to take a look at. Excellent. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Try to, not that you guys aren't inspired as it is, you guys are always making me aware of cases, but yeah, just kind of I like doing this. I may start doing this more, and if I have time, to do it. Just kind of doing this, just basic information, just a jumping off point. For anybody who might not have heard of any of these cases, can be creator or not, anybody, all of you guys out there are smart, a lot smarter than I am. Yeah, to go and do your own research and see what you can dig up. Absolutely. Oh, Miss Farr says there has been an arrest made in the 1992 cold case of Amy Hooper. See, that's one I had not heard of. That's why I love interacting with you guys. You guys bring in what am I looking for? I forgot the word I was looking for. You guys educate me on cases that I've never heard of. I'm gonna have to look at that. I'm gonna have to look at that. Amy Hooper. What? Where was that from, Far? And it may take me a minute to get down to your answer, but I promise I will get to it. This is this is true. Artist says, in fairness, because I said that she, I think you're talking about Tanya, did not look like she was. I think she was 17. Artist says, in fairness, in the 70s, all 18-year-olds look 40. That is true. That is true. Miss Anna says she didn't know cow hooves got trimmed. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I know horses do, and I believe. Yeah. I don't know. Somebody I missed something because Miss Lisa Joe says somebody is super cute, and has a Scottish accent. Oh, I love the Irish accent. Love the Irish. Maybe the Irish in me. Thank you, Dave. Be careful. Dave said he's heading out like a baby. Will be listening and sliding. Oh yeah. Are you getting ice and snow? I'm assuming you are. Be careful out there, Dave. Be very careful. So what is me? Okay, so Mr. Steve said, Lisa Joe, your random watch list makes me feel better about things. Oh, the random, yeah. I will watch the weirdest things sometime on YouTube because I don't have TikTok. I don't have I have Instagram, but I don't, when I used it for my jewelry. I don't have Twitter, so I have Facebook and I have this YouTube to watch stuff on, and I watch some of the weirdest stuff sometimes. I'll just be scrolling through, and just something will pop up. And I'm like, that's interesting or weird, or I'm going, what the crap is going on? And I do like to go down the occasional rabbit hole in conspiracy theory. Not saying I believe in any of them, mostly for entertainment value. You'd be surprised at conspiracy theory, or you may not be surprised at some of the conspiracy theories out there. Craziness. I think I said this before. If you guys have never gone down a rabbit hole on all the Disney conspiracies, that is total madness. Total madness. There's our friend JP. Hello, John Paul. Good to have you here. Always good to have our friend here. Artie says his history goes from cars to true crime to the latest drama in the commentary community. I like watching commentary. I got to watching what was she called? Hannah Alonso. She does commentary on a lot of TikTok stuff about these influencers. I like to watch her commentary on these crazy influencers. I watched that. I went down a rabbit hole, binge watched a lot of that the other day. I mean, I'm like, really? These people are just, it's craziness. I think Hannah Alonso, I think that was her name, but I really enjoyed her. All right. Thank you, Arctic. Got John Paul's link in. Thank you so much. Yes, Mr. Steve says we were being made aware of DNA collection in the late 80s. Yes, because in that about the time you started out, Mr. Steve. But hello to Mrs. Steve if she's listening. Mr. Steve, in the 80s, that I think I've heard you, if I remember correctly, which I could be entirely wrong. Is when you got started. Oh goodness. JP says we had a 19-year-old in a town 20 minutes away from me stab his parents. I assume they are deceased. He is still at large in the Fernley, Nevada, armed and dangerous. Wow. So if anybody happens to be watching in that area, Fernley, Nevada, lock your doors. Lock your doors. Hide the women, hide the children, lock your doors. That is horrifying. Okay, excellent. Yeah. Yeah, so John Paul's JP's second channel is Analyze This, where he talks about true crime stuff. If somebody can drop that link, if you haven't already, I'm already subscribed. I know a lot of you guys are too. I will definitely check it out. I got a clippy in my hair and it's poking me in the back of the head. Okay, anyway, okay, so Miss Lisa Joe says, Arctic says I only work on ancient cases. Hashtag accurate. Hey, I work on ancient cases too. I just love, I've always been interested in cold cases, and I feel like, not, of course the current cases, newer cases are very important, but sometimes these cold cases, whether they be missing persons or unsolved homicides, like what we're talking about tonight, they just kind of, after a while, they just kind of disappear when the next thing comes along. So I try to go through and just try to bring in as much attention as I can to as many cold cases as I can. So there's Miss Christina Strife. Hello, Christina. Good to have you here. She says, made it just in time to be called away again, but I wanted to say I love your channel and you. Thank you so much. We love you too, ma'am. Keep doing what you do, please. One day I'll be able to stay longer. No worries. Thank you for popping in. Absolutely. Thank you for dropping in. Always love when you pop in. Thank you. JP says he will keep updating to the Analyze community wall on it for those following the case. Absolutely. I will most definitely be checking it out. And Mr. Steve says, I believe Georgia was early in the use of DNA, 1985, I think. Excellent. Excellent. Oop, all my comments just jumped up. Yes, Mr. Steve is our wisdom giver, our wizard, along with being the national treasure. Yes, I love history documentaries. Miss Anna says she watches a lot of history documentaries. I do too. I love history documentaries. Because it's funny, I did not excel in history class in school, but I've always been interested in history, but it has to be something that I'm interested in, a subject I'm interested in, if that makes sense, when it concerns history. JP says, shameless plug for JP. He's got a new great song out, set as featured on channel. Take some people. Yes, I saw that. I will get that listened to, and I will share it on my community wall. Absolutely. JP puts out some excellent music. Thank you very much, Miss PJ. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Arctic says he was giving her a hard time. You're always giving somebody a hard time. That's what we love about you. Oh my goodness. Everything keeps jumping. Thank you very much. Once again, there is John Paul's channel. All right, I think I'm actually caught up for a minute, so I'll mark where I'm at and we will get on. So we did Tanya. So the next one is Christine Ann Gross. And I'll stop my cam once again. She won't have to look at my ugly mug while I'm just looking down reading. So this one is from 1974, July of 1974, from Rawlins, Wyoming. Christy Gross was last seen in Rawlins, Wyoming on the 4th of July, 1974. She was visiting the area. She was last seen with her friend, Carlene Brown, who was also 19. The two attended, and I think a couple of these cases later on may have some connection to each other, may have some of the same person of interest possibly. And also have one coming up that if Mr. Steve is still around, he will He will definitely have something to say about. But anyway, so the two attended, she and her friend, Carlene Brown, had attended the Little Britches Rodeo, and after that, they vanished. Their car was found abandoned, but no other trace of the two was found. 9 years later, Christine's skeletal remains were found in a field near Sinclair, Wyoming. They determined she had been the victim of a homicide. She, hold on, I'm getting confused here. So her friend Carlene Brown was not found at the scene, but it is believed that she was also the victim of a homicide. So Carlene Brown was her friend that was with her. They both disappeared. Christine's skeletal remains were found in the field 9 years later. Carlene Brown has not been found, but they also believe she is the victim of a homicide. So some more information. So they attended the Little Britches Rodeo at the local fairgrounds. They mysteriously disappeared, were never seen again. The car was later found abandoned. Some accounts state the vehicle was located over 200 miles away in Worland, Wyoming, or that it had been found still at the fairgrounds. Police initially, once again, run away. Police initially believed both girls had just ran away. I know article has something to say about that. On October 27th, 1983, the skeletal remains of a young woman were found by two siblings who were testing their father's new truck in a field 3 miles south of Sinclair, Wyoming. The victim had a ring on one finger and had been the victim of a homicide. Dental records identified the remains as belonging to Christine Gross. The ring was a handmade gift from her uncle, and her family positively identified it as being hers. She had been killed by 2 heavy blows to the head. The area her remains were found in was searched for any trace of Carlene Brown, but she was not located anywhere in the vicinity. Once again, despite this, police do suspect that Carlene was also the victim of a homicide. Both of the cases, unfortunately, remain unsolved. So while no one has been arrested for the presumed double kidnapping, police believe that Carlene Brown's disappearance and Christine's slaying are linked to the other disappearances in the Rawlins area during the summer of 1974. So this could be possibly, I think what they're getting at is maybe a serial offender. On August 4th of 1974, Deborah Meyer disappeared from the Rawlins area. She was last seen leaving a relative's home on 7th and Spruce Streets to walk to a local movie theater. She failed to arrive to the theater. She was never seen again. She does remain missing, but investigators generally suspect that she met the same fate as the other girls. It's been theorized that a possible serial offender on August 23rd, 1974, 10-year-old Jaylene Banker was abducted from the Carbon County Fairgrounds in Rawlins. Once again, another kind of fairground situation. Let me go back up. So Carlene and Christy disappeared from fairgrounds. And I'm assuming they are in Rawlins, Wyoming. I don't know if it's the same fairgrounds or not. So let me get back down to Jaylene Baker was abducted from the Carbon County Fairgrounds in Rawlins. She had been last seen standing at a popcorn stand. So in April of 1975, Jaylene's partially clothed body was found laying in a field near the Rawlins City gravel pits, which is 2 miles west of Rawlins. She had also been killed by a blow to her head. It says Royal Russell Long was involved in the cases. Long lived in the Rawlins area during 1974, where he was known to work at local fairs and carnivals. He was convicted of kidnapping 12-year-old Shannon Bald Eagle and her friend in January of 1985. Both girls had run away from their homes in Eagle Butte, South Dakota on September 18th, 1984. And they were picked up by this Longfellow while hitchhiking in Casper, Wyoming. Evidently, he took them back to his home in Evansville, where he held them at a pew-pew point. He tied them up. Once again, trigger warning, trigger warning. He physically beat Sharon and SA'd her friend. The friend managed to free herself and flee to a neighbor's house. Before the police could arrive, Long fled with Sharon. He was apprehended a week later in New Mexico. Bald Eagle was not with him at the time. Of course, he denied taking her life, and he said that she was still alive when he last saw her. I don't think I'm buying that. He was sentenced to life in prison for the kidnapping. Later that year, he was also charged with the kidnappings and homicides of 2 Oklahoma City girls who were taken from the Oklahoma State Fair during the fall of 1981. Cindy Pallett and Charlotte Kinsey, both 13, were last seen being driven away by an unidentified man matching Long's description on September 25th, 1981. Neither girl has ever been found. The charges against Long in those cases were eventually dismissed due to lack of evidence, but he remains the primary suspect in the 1981 kidnappings. But he passed away of a heart attack while serving his life sentence for kidnapping, and he passed away in 1993. So it appears possibly that if he is guilty of all, or allegedly, which he's passed away now, so could have had or been a serial offender. Absolutely, in my opinion. And I think I do, like I said, some of the other ones coming up, maybe some of these other girls that were mentioned. I mean, in this story, in this case. But if you have any information regarding Christine's case, let me get it to come up here. Contact the Carbon County Sheriff's Department at 307-324-2776. Turn on my cam. All right, let me get the next one up, and I'll look at your comments again. So we were on. So the next one, yeah, but maybe the next one is connected to this one. Let me get in your comments again quickly. Let me find where I left off. Sometimes I have trouble. I got new glasses with cheaters, and I don't know if they're too strong or not strong enough. Okay, either I missed my mark or oh, there it is. Okay. Oh yeah, we're only, oh yeah, Cindy said we've been on almost an hour. Oh yeah, we're doing good. It's only an hour. Yes, John Paul says keep the light. Yes, always. Yes. Lisa Jo said Roy Russell Long. Yep. Have you heard of him? Is that why you said that, or are you just asking? I'm sorry if my shirt is, I know it scratches sometimes and makes noise. Yes, Roy, I'm gonna have to look at Royal Russell Long. Did I say Roy? I have to look into this character. So you've been researching this Long fella for years. We may have to have a discussion. So Miss Lisa Jo, do you think he's a possible serial offender? I think, in my opinion, it's definitely possible. See, I keep hearing this name come up. I've never looked in the Taylor Shabusiness. Dandy says Taylor Shabusiness is facing a charge of assaulting an officer excuse me, after attacking a nurse guard to get medical help. I hear that name come up a lot, but I've never looked into that. I don't even know what she did. I'm gonna have to look into it, I guess. Yes, Miss Lisa Joe said Royal Russell Long is also believed to be responsible for the disappearance of Cindy Pallett and Charlotte Kinsey. Yep, there is JP's other channel, his true crime channel. Analyze this one. Chris says, isn't Russell Long a military member? I don't know. Apparently, Miss Lisa Joe has all the information on this Long fella. Oh, so he was. Miss Lisa Joe says, I don't believe so. He was a long haul trucker. Easy for me to say. A long haul trucker and a carny. So see, Dave, I know he's probably listening unless he didn't have signal, is always looking into the correlation between long haul truckers and serial offenders. Not saying that obviously all long haul truckers are serial offenders, but there are some long haul truckers that were serial offenders, and there could be, unfortunately, horrifyingly, more that we don't know about. Are you leaving, Aquarian? Aquarian says, thank you at Southern Gal. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Always a pleasure to have you here. I hope you have a good night. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss PJ and Arctic and everybody who is throwing in links. Thank you so much. Oh, goodness. So Miss Lisa Joe says, I won't call him Mr. Long was disgusting. I've talked to his grandson. We are definitely, I'm going to have you on panel sometime, Miss Lisa Joe, if you would be willing to. And to talk about some of this stuff that you can talk about. Anything that you want to talk about. Wow, you've talked to his grandson. Wow. So is his grandson an okay person or whatever? I don't know why he wouldn't be, but okay. Chris said he was thinking about the Canadian serial offender who was a colonel. Miss Lisa Joe says it's believed that he was responsible for a lot more disappearances. I'm telling you, just serial offender vibes. Yes, absolutely do. Please check out our precious Paula, Miss Paula Fitzhenry, for some positive vibes. She is amazing. Yes, she is. She's probably when I get up in the mornings while I'm taking my meds and getting myself awake to get ready to go to work. I sit and check my notifications, and Miss Paula she always has a short or two every morning that she posts, and hers is probably the very first thing that I watch before I watch anything else. So amazing, so positive, always good vibes. Absolutely. You are most welcome, Miss Paula. Anytime, always. No, not yet. Arctic asked me if I watched the news. I can't talk tonight. I promise I haven't been drinking anything. There's nothing in this cup but sweet tea. I promise. Asked me if have I watched the new Zodiac documentary yet on Netflix. No, it's on my list, but I still have to watch that. I still have to get caught up with the Dahmer and the brothers, the Menendez, and that other one you were telling me about, the fire one. I still have to watch all those. Like I said, once football season is over, because I do most of my binge watching and stuff, binge watching on my streaming services on Saturdays and Sundays when it's not football season. So once football season is over, I can start getting back into watching binge watching stuff, suggestions. Miss Lisa Joe says, going back to this Longfellow, the story of Cindy and Charlotte and how he was not charged or absolutely negligent. Yeah. You're going to have to send me some information. I'm going to have to do some research. Get on the Google machine, because that's all I have is the Google machine. Yes, definitely go over and say hi to Miss PJ. Absolutely. Miss PJ is a wonderful person, a wonderful creator. And Miss Lisa Joe says there was no shortage of evidence. The judge threw out testimony because of Long's own daughter and the two boys that were originally with the girls and Long. Oh my goodness. So I'm definitely gonna have to look into this. Yeah. Yep. She says it pisses her off. It would, yeah. I'm getting peed off just from what you're telling me. Yes. Miss PJ has her tardy cookies. Absolutely. Check out Miss Barbara and Timmy's Legacy. Absolutely. Wow. Miss Lisa Joe says they found blood pools in the trunk of the car that they figured were likely made by two bodies. Well, if I don't know, Mr. Steve is here, but I think that's what would be called a clue or evidence. If you have a pools of blood in the trunk, you'd think that they might want to check that out. Goodness gracious. Thank you, Aquarian. Oh, I thought Aquarian was leaving earlier. Okay. Sub to Lighting the Way. Also sub to Paula. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. Justice for Timmy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Aquarian. Have a good night, honey. Miss Paula wants to know if he was questioned. Well, if they didn't even, I don't know, if they didn't even check the blood stains in the, I might have to have stronger glasses. Whenever I lean back, I can't see. Who knows if they didn't even check the blood stains in the vehicle? Who knows if they questioned him? Oh, Dandy says, "Oh, Lottie, Taylorship business is a literal nightmare. A rabbit hole? Do I need to go down that rabbit hole at some point?" Dandy doesn't have a channel. Dandy should have a channel. No, I don't. Dandy doesn't have a channel that I'm aware of, because I think I've asked her that before. I don't know. Miss Anna said Taylorship business is nuts. Didn't she have someone's head in a bucket? I don't know. Like I said, I've heard the name. I've always heard the name, but I've never looked into what her deal was. Yes. If he was a long haul trucker, Lisa Joe said Dave and I should discuss Royal Russell Long. Yeah. Yeah, because Dave is always talking about the connection between long haul truckers and serial offenders. Absolutely. JP, what topic you're talking about? The long haul truckers? JP says, yes, please do that. Would be a good panel on this topic. What topic are you talking about, JP? I'm lost or behind. Hey, Evil. Necessary Evil is here, one of our night owls. Welcome. Good to see you here, sir. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. So Miss Lisa Joe, because you mentioned that she had talked to this long character's grandson, says his grandson seems okay. I think I'm Facebook friends with him even. He agrees that his grandfather was a monster and responsible for many more disappearances. To me, you couldn't have, I mean, when you have a family member saying that his grandfather basically could be a serial offender, I would take that as a good, I would put weight on that. Absolutely. Thank you, TJ, or T&J's live chat. Sub to Miss Paula. Thank you so much. Yeah, Sunday says it's a mind game when a family member is the monster. Absolutely. Okay, so Miss Anna said the Canadian colonel who was an unaliver, stalker, and underwear thief is Russell Williams. I'll have to look at that. Also, look at him. Also, I've never heard of him. I got to watch Miss PJ's still. She says next on my list is JonBenet Ramsey. I still got to watch that live or that video you did on JonBenet. Absolutely. Twin Flame, is that the one on Netflix that there's something on Netflix that Arctic is always telling me has something to do with fire or flame or something, and I always forget because I write it down and then I lose the piece of paper that I write it down on. Yep, Dandy says, I'm not a fan of the Menendez brothers. They did unspeakable things. Yeah. Yep. I'm not a fan of them, but you know, now and I think they have they're not going to get a court appearance to see if they're because they're trying to get their sentence commuted so they can basically get out now, time served. But I think it's not till January 30th or so, I believe, until they get their hearing on that. But I agree, they did unspeakable things, and you know, whether or not they were, goodness gracious, a whole bunch of comments popped up. You know, whether or not their allegations against their dad is true or not, that still does not give them the right to you know, to me, it doesn't. It's just my opinion that their case does not fall under the self-defense, because clearly, in my opinion, premeditated. They had time to reload. They basically ambushed their parents and weren't in imminent fear of their life at that very moment. So, you know, I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't think they should get out. Yes, JonBenet's case is getting more interesting. Yeah, because her dad, John Ramsey, has come out and said that he thinks that the police or whatever, or whoever should use the genetic genealogy for some kind of DNA. I believe that was found. Because I believe unknown male DNA that didn't match any of the males in the household, any of the Ramseys, Burke or John, was found. I think on her underwear or some of her underclothes. But I think they're trying to decide if there's enough DNA, if it's viable enough to be able to test. Yes. Yeah, there's always room for improvement. Absolutely. Yep, I think it could be solvable. I mean, once again, talking about JonBenet, talk about crime scenes that were botched. Oh my God. In my opinion, that crime scene was botched from to hell and back. Maybe even worse than the West Memphis 3 crime scene. Definitely things happened in that crime scene that should not have happened. Most definitely. But yeah, if it, you know, hopefully, even though the crime scene was basically destroyed, maybe, you know, they can find something that could lead to an offender, whether it be from somebody inside the house or not, or outside the house. And I think definitely, you know, most likely, I'm gonna say definitely. I'm not 100% sure on anything, but I think if they had maintained the crime scene and, you know, kept it clean and processed it the way it should have been processed, I believe in my heart that it would already be solved. But that's just my opinion when it comes to that case. Yep. Miss Anna says, I believe the JonBenet case will be solved with DNA found in multiple places on her clothing. Yes. Are you talking about the Long character again? Miss Lisa Joe says, if I recall correctly, he turned to one of the girls' families in court and said, you'll never find them. Horrible. Yeah, I agree. Dandy says, methinks it's BS that evidence in JonBenet case has gone untested for DNA after all these years. I know. I know. Just like in the West Memphis story, the supposed DNA that they have that ruled could be tested, and they're still fighting it here in Arkansas to get it tested, even though the Arkansas Supreme Court said, yes, you can test it. Drives me nuts. Don't get me started on West Memphis. We'll have to have another West Memphis story rant, or not really rant, discussion live stream here pretty soon. But there's just been nothing new. We've been hoping for this DNA testing, but hasn't happened yet. Yep, that's yep. Arctic said the same thing I did. He says, I've been everywhere with JonBenet's case over the years. I don't know what to make of it other than other than if the crime scene had been properly preserved, it probably would have been already been solved. Exactly. 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 See, I go back and forth on it too, because to me there's some, and I try to look at all different people who report on it, do documentaries, because most of the time whatever documentary you're watching is slanted one way or the other, that either they think that a member of the household did it or an outsider did it. So I try to watch, look at all angles, and I go back and forth, because there's some things that I've seen and heard that say maybe it was somebody within the household, and there's other things that I've watched and seen and heard that maybe it was somebody from the outside. So I'm with you there, Arctic. Yeah, Miss PJ says, yeah, they did clear the family with DNA. That is true. What is an MT, Dandy? Dandy says she's an MT, not a content creator. You're a wonderful person, Dandy. That's what you are. Oh no, Miss PJ. No, nothing is off. As long as we're talking about any kind of true crime or whatever, nothing's off topic. That's what these live streams are for. To get you guys talking about whatever. Yeah, if you're going back to JonBenet, Arctic says, I question how reliable the DNA is, though, given all the contamination of the crime scene. Yes, that is the problem. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what it was. Miss Anna said unidentified male DNA was mixed with her blood. So I think that was but I think, once again, I don't know if Mr. Steve is still here, but I think what John Ramsey is saying now is that with a certain kind of DNA testing now, they can, and I think I've read about it other places, maybe Mr. Steve's talked about it, that they can now separate the DNA, even if it's mixed together, they can separate it. I could be wrong, I don't know, but I think that is what I've read and heard. Yeah, Arctic says that he doesn't, I don't believe John or Patsy is responsible. I took them off my list ages ago. John Paul says his OCD has OCD. Okay, I don't know what you were saying yes about, but thank you. Miss Anna says this case, I don't know if you're talking about JonBenet, is very toxic. My only bad experience online was because of this case. See, that's what it's been stuck in my mind too. Dandy says, who sits in the home and writes a very long, I heard somebody call it the War and Peace of ransom notes, this letter, and then only to leave the child a ransom note, but then ends up leaving killing her or taking her life and leaving her in the home. Like I said, that's another case that drives me crazy. But yeah, JP says, after all, what is normal anymore? That is true. Normal is relative. Arctic says he has a suspicion about Burke, but he's been cleared by law enforcement. And Miss PJ says, I believe it is overkill, like police officers get charged for. That's a good point. Miss Anna says there is a certain kind of criminal that feels very comfortable entering homes when folks are away, when they're not there. That is true. Yep, I've heard of that too. Miss PJ says some criminals like that make meals and just stay in the home after they do it. Yes, I've heard of cases like that. Absolutely. JP says most crime scenes are contaminated within 5 minutes of events in the aftermath. Hey, Christopher, welcome. Good to have you here. We are doing fine. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, see, that's another good point. Artist says I pretty much taken Burke off the table, though, just given his age. Yeah, I know he was older. I can't remember how much older he was. And John John Ramsey wouldn't be pushing so hard if it was Burke. I've thought about that too. Yeah, Sunday says I don't believe Burke would have been capable at his strength level given the autopsy. Yeah, because I don't want to go into. Yeah, because it was bad with the garrote. Yeah, somebody with some strength would have had to do that. Absolutely. I've never asked Sunday if they've had a channel. They never mentioned it if they do, but yeah, definitely if Sunday Doodles has a channel. Yes, Miss PJ, you might have to come. You, Arctic, anybody else who I know Miss Paula loves. Or that's one of her favorite cases of West Memphis 3. We need to have a live next time we do or West Memphis 3 discussion. Have us up here on panel, you and me and Arctic and whoever else. Miss PJ says she's covered West Memphis 3 and somebody I can't remember who it was not too long ago. Within the last week did some kind of West Memphis 3 discussion. It's not a channel that I watch regularly. I think I've watched, just here and there, but it just came up in my news feed that they were doing a West Memphis 3 discussion. But I haven't watched it yet to see what their conclusions were. Arctic says, I don't know which one you're referring to, says it was his very questionable behavior when being questioned that got me side-eyeing him. Yes. Dandy says that there was a garrote made of things that were in the house that was used. Yes, it was string from inside the house. It was a broken, I think, not a pencil, maybe a paintbrush, wooden paintbrush that was used to make the garrote. I think basically everything that was used was from inside the house. The paper that the ransom note was written was from inside the house. I believe the pen or whatever that was used. Maybe the duct tape, because I think her hands were duct taped and there was duct tape over her. I know there's duct tape over her mouth. I think they pretty much figured out that everything that was used came from inside the house. Now, that's not to say that means that somebody within the household did it. It could have been, somebody come in from the outside and just used what was there, didn't bring any of their own supplies, for lack of a better word, their own kit. Yes, there is so many missing and unsolved. Absolutely. Sunday says typo spice. Yep. Miss Anna says JonBenet was tortured in an adult sadistic way. Family planned to fly to Michigan the next morning for a second Christmas. Pilot was standing by. Where does unaliving fit in? Absolutely. Excellent point. Miranda says she keeps dozing off, so she's got to get up and get a snack. Dandy says they DNA tested very little in JonBenet's case. Miss Anna says DNA in JonBenet's case has been described as found in multiple places on various garments that she was wearing, plus male DNA in her blood. She was violated. Yeah. Yeah, you talking about T&J chat? Yeah. Somebody dropped the link earlier. Oh, yeah, there it is. Arctic got dropped it again. There it is. JP. Thank you, Arctic. Oh, it's my backup channel. What is your first channel? Do you want your first channel link? Yeah, Evil, I just call Evil. That's why I call him in Dave's chat. Necessary Evil says, I say we trace the DNA down using genetic genealogy, then worry about the details. See, I think that's what John Ramsey is pushing for, is to use the genetic genealogy to see if anything pops up. That's a good point. Miss Anna says the ransom note never seemed that unusual to me. I have known lots of people who think that way. Jealousy, greed, envy, rage at the rich. Yeah, I never did think about that, but yeah. Um, are you talking about RA Richard Allen? Evil says I'm flying up for the sentencing. Yeah, Dandy says I'd love to see her case, JonBenet, be solved while John is still alive. Yeah, because Patsy, she passed away a few years ago. She had some kind of cancer, right? JP says a garrote is easier to turn than you realize. Well, see, when I think of garrotes, it reminds me of the mafia, the American mafia. The other thing I'm interested in, absolutely, obviously, don't condone, but the mafia like to use garrotes. Yeah, because that makes sense because you got the torque. The torque wouldn't be that bad using the garrote. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop. Let's see. We'll mark right there and get in another case, and then we will continue with some chat. So we did Christine. Okay, so this is maybe in one that was that they mentioned in Christine's case. Let's see, I'm gonna turn off my cam while I'm reading. So this is Jaylene Dawn Banker. Yes, I believe this is one. This is from 1974, Rawlins, Wyoming. Yes, this is one they mentioned. So Jaylene Dawn Banker was abducted from the Carbon County Fair, being held in Rawlins, Wyoming during the summer of 1974. 8 months later, her partially clad body was found in a field just 2 miles outside of Rawlins. She'd been the victim of a homicide, and the crime appeared to be SA motivated, since some of her clothing was off her body. Banker was one of 4 other young girls who disappeared from the Rawlins area during the summer of 1974. 2 were found unalived, and 2 remain missing. Jaylene disappeared from Rawlins, Wyoming on August 23rd, 1974. That evening, she attended the Carbon County Rodeo with several friends. The fair was being held just 5 blocks away from her home. At some point, the friends all dispersed around the attractions and the rides. Jaylene was last seen standing near a popcorn stand. She failed to return home that night and was never seen again. When she failed to come back home by 10:30 p.m., her parents called the police and filed a missing persons report. Police immediately suspected Banker may have been abducted and searched for her extensively with no results. But then on April 24th, 1975, a Rawlins engineer was running with his dog through a field near the local gravel pits when he came across Jaylene's badly decomposed body. The location was 2 miles outside of Rawlins and 5 miles away from the fairgrounds where she vanished from. She was partially clothed and was found lying face down in a rocky area. She was clad in only her shirt, socks, and shoes. Other articles of her clothing were found nearby, as well as shotgun shells. Hopefully those were collected. Oh, well, it says these shells were too old to be connected to the case. An autopsy concluded that Jaylene had been killed by a blow to the head and that she was likely killed at the scene. No arrests were ever made in the case, which remains a mystery. So once again, it basically gives the same details about the other girls that we talked about in Christine's case, and this Rawlins fella, Royal Russell Long. Same information that we talked about earlier. So yeah, she is another one connected to Royal Russell Long. And she was, how old did I say she was? She was 10 years old. She was just 10 years old. So once again, if you have any information, please call, if I get it to come up, once again. The Carbon County Sheriff's Department at 307-324-2776. Right, we're going to go to another one. This is Mary Carlene Letterman. Let me get her information up. Mary Carlene Letterman, and this is from this is the one from 1964. Back to Killeen, Texas. Last night in our missing live stream, we had a bunch from Killeen, Texas. So on December 30th, 1964, at approximately 9:45 a.m., the Killeen Police Department received a call about a deceased female located at the 800 block of Harris Avenue. The homicide occurred between 7:45 and 9:45 a.m. The victim was identified as Army wife Mary Carlene Letterman, who at the time was just 16 years of age. The location was a converted duplex, and the neighbor was awakened by a baby crying. The neighbor noticed the back door and screen were open, and she walked into the house. After calling for Mary, the neighbor located the baby next to her deceased mother. That is horrible. The baby was alive with no injuries. The baby was quickly removed, and the neighbor ran out into the street and screamed for anyone to call the police to respond. Once again, trigger warning, all these. Further investigation revealed Mary was beaten and a towel was forced down her throat. It says there was no evidence of SA, although she was found with her nightgown pulled up over her stomach. Now, when it says there was no evidence of SA, that just means the body showed no evidence, but that does not mean it wasn't a SA or a sexually motivated crime. So no property was missing and there was no struggle. Mary's husband, Jerry Letterman, was stationed at Fort Hood and was considered a prime suspect. He was charged with the homicide. However, on May 29th, 1965, he was, it says, quote, no billed by the Bell County grand jury after only circumstantial evidence was presented. Although several leads were investigated, the case remains unsolved. Mary was from Claremore, Oklahoma. She had one child with her husband. According to neighbors, Mary was considering divorcing her husband before her death. So possibly that might have had something to do with it. And the surviving child was taken into custody by relatives. So the father was not left with custody. Now, that might have been by his choice. I don't know. But the child was taken into custody by relatives. So that is interesting. What do you guys think about that? Stranger or possibly husband related? Let me get caught up a little bit here. Oh, we're talking about garrots. JP says it's actually a weapon originated by the Orient. Yes. Evil says yes, a paintbrush, broken paintbrush. In JonBenet's case, yes. That is true. Dandy says, I think it's extremely unfair that Burke had to grow up under such scrutiny and was forever changed after JonBenet passed. That is true. Evil says thus Thuggee cult used to use them for thousands of years. Yep. Miss Barb says this is a nightmare from families. This time of year makes it worse. Absolutely. Absolutely. JP says used as a form of torture during dynasty times. Okay. Arctic says the duct tape was from outside the house. Interesting. Okay. So I was mistaken on that. That's interesting. So that would fall on the, like I said, I'm like you, I'm on the fence. Yeah, if the duct tape was from outside the house. Interesting. Miss Anna says the garrote was official method of execution in Spain and Portugal until fairly recently. Really? Until fairly recent times. Wow. See, that's why I love watching or getting in chat. I know it makes the live streams longer, but I get some good information and things I didn't know from you guys. Sunday says they're not sure what to think about the ransom note. Yeah, it's just, and it's weird. I'm not making light of it. Whenever I think of that ransom note from the JonBenet case, it reminds me of the on Die Hard when Hans is talking to whoever and given the supposed, of course, anybody who's watched Die Hard knows what the plot of that movie was and the reason for that, but supposedly it was they were working for, I can't remember what it's called now, and I've watched that movie 100 times. They were working with some the way he worded it, specific people, or I can't get out what I'm trying to say, but that's just when I read the, when I ever read the JonBenet's note, that just the way it's worded, and that's what it just reminds me of. What Hans was, Gruber was spouting about some kind of military group or whatever, not military, but a group that he was working, supposedly reason behind the taking of the Takahome Plaza or whatever it was called. JP says, I think mom got a little frustrated because her daughter wanted to be a child and have a childhood. That absolutely. Thank you for putting in a Truth and Justice channel. Absolutely. Oh, it's T and J's live chat, Truth and Justice channel. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry if I just now made that connection. Oh my goodness. Is this Miss Ange? Oh, good Lord. I'm so sorry if it is Miss Ange. I apologize. I'm just not used to seeing T and J's live chat. Yeah, that would make sense. Duh. Once again, sorry. Takes me a minute. Oh goodness. JP says her crime scene was set up, I suspect. Miss Anna said that she traveled through Rawlins in 1975. Oh, wow. That'd be around the time that all that was going on. Christopher said they would be right back. Miranda said, how old was she? You talking about Mary Carlene? She was, I think 16. Hold on. 16. If we're talking about Mary Carlene, she was 16. Or if you're talking about somebody else, Miranda, just tell me who you're talking about and I'll go back and look. Oh, good. I'm not the only one. JP says, I just realized who T and J is now. I know. Truth and Justice. Oh, my goodness. Okay. I'm so sorry, Miss Ange. Welcome, Miss Ange. And I know you commented earlier. I don't know if it was on YouTube or Facebook. I'm so sorry, Miss Ange. I wouldn't put two and two together. Sunday says a gravel pit. How did he know that was there? That's true. Depending on how big it was, how far, if it was in the middle of nowhere, or how far off of the main road it was. That's a good question, though. Arctic says she looks super young. I don't know which one you're talking about. You talking about okay, so we haven't got to, oh goodness, I'm pushing buttons. We haven't got to the one yet. Are you talking about Mary? Yes, most definitely sad. Absolutely. Yeah, there are a lot. If you're going back to this Royal Russell Long, there was apparently he is associated. God, I had to take this. It's poking me in the head. Apparently associated with a lot of disappearances, allegedly. And Miss Lisa Joe has been researching Royal Russell Long, and has talked to his grandson. You said, Miss Lisa Joe. Hello, Kathy S. Good to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. Yes. PJ said all their hair is perfect back then. I know. I look at that hair and then I look at my mop messy hair that I've got going on. I'm like, yeah. I gave up caring a long time ago. When you get to a certain age, you just don't care. You just throw it up in a bun or a ponytail or a clippy and just go with it. No makeup. I use that little filter. There's actually a filter on StreamYard you can use. I just use it on like the low setting to get, some of the wrinkles. Sunday says she was with him a while, given the drive time. Wonder if there was anything at the crime scene. Yeah. Dandy says 10-year-olds aren't what they used to be. I was peeling taters with a paring knife at 4. That is true. That is true. Yeah, back in the 80s and before too, but especially in the 80s. I can attest to the hairspray. Or just said hairspray was like shellac back then. I know it was in the 80s. Unfortunately, I contributed to the depletion of the ozone layer with my use of Aquanet. Yep, Dandy said times have changed, not for the better. Absolutely. Oh my goodness, everything just jumped. Hold on, guys. I lost my place. That is true. Miss Anna said pictures weren't taken as often then as they are now. Lots of the pictures of victims were taken for special occasions like graduations or yearbooks. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, yeah. Now, especially when the fart phone came along. Oh, Lord, help me. The smartphone came along and you got pictures everywhere. And I loved it back in whenever the Polaroids came out. Oh God, I have so many Polaroids. I think I got a Polaroid camera for Christmas one year. I used that thing until it fell apart. Yep. Aquanet, baby. Absolutely. Sunday says, not a stranger. Christopher says, definitely a stranger. I don't know which cases you're all talking about. I'm behind. Yep. Miss Anna says, lots of old cold cases get solved with DNA. Absolutely. Genetic genealogy. I'm all about that genetic genealogy. Lots of times the identified offenders were creeps that lived next door or otherwise close by. True. Absolutely. Yep. The husband, Arctic said, the husband is always the number one person of interest till they can be ruled out. Yep. Miss Anna is always I see Miss Anna in definitely Mr. Steve's chats all the time. She is a wealth of information. She says the John Benet Ramsey ransom note is very similar to a type note using the Adolf Coors third abduction in 1960. That was also a Colorado case. Yep. Miss Barbara says, just like Friends. Absolutely. Miranda says, actually, the remainder of the Jean Benet duct tape was not found. It wasn't proven whether it was from inside the house or not. See, I don't know. I was always under the impression or heard that it came from inside the house and they had matched it, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Yep, even the neighbor. Yep. Oh, thank you, Miss Ange. Thank you for forgiving me for taking my brain taking so long to put two and two together. Yes, absolutely. Miss Barb said everyone here has become my family. Yes, we are all a family. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Green hearts, big hugs. Thank you, everyone. Absolutely. No. Miss PJ says she's going to listen. You all behave now. Kidding. Seem living like tall. Thank you, Miss PJ. I love you, Miss PJ. Yep, Dandy says, I wear no makeup and I don't care. It's not my business what people think of me. Absolutely. I quit wearing makeup a long time ago. Probably as soon as I graduated from, well, maybe for a few years after I graduated when I was still in my, probably about 30 is whenever I started working at the pizza place. I quit wearing makeup because it would be working up by that hot oven. It would melt off 5 minutes after I got there anyway. So I'm just like, what's the use? So that's when I quit wearing makeup. Miss Barbara says she has a fire dumpster on my hair from over hairspray. Okay, Arctic's going to be listening from the bushes too. Has some research to do. Thank you, Arctic. Love you too, my friend. Okay, Miss Anna says in the Jean Benet case, the duct tape and cord were not sourced to the house according to investigators, but that can be argued several different ways. Okay, I think I'm finally caught up again. All right. Before people start leaving in droves. So we did Mary's case. So this is Dawn M. Cotton. I should have already had her information up, but thankfully it is not taking too long. For it to come up. So this one is from 1989 from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Then we have one earlier that was from somewhere in Indiana. It might have been from Fort Wayne. So on June 29th, 1989, Dawn M. Cotton was located in her apartment. And once again, trigger warning, trigger warning. She was found located in her apartment, stabbed to death. There's not a whole lot of information on this one. We'll have to do some research on this one too. She was discovered in the early morning hours by co-workers. She was employed at the Wayne Township Trustee's office. Her purse was stolen, and it was recovered in the area of the Salamone Reservoir. I don't know how far away that would have been from from her apartment. And that's basically all the information on this site that they have on this case. So definitely another one to research. But if you do have any information, please call while I'm waiting for it to come up, Fort Wayne Police Department at 260-427-1230. Right, and we have Luella Moore. Let me get her information. This is Luella Moore. This is from September of 1988. Once again, from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Once again, not a whole lot of information on this one. We'll have to do some more research on this one. On September 13th, 1988, Luella Moore, once again, trigger warning. Luella Moore was brutally attacked and stabbed to death in her apartment. She was a single female living alone. There was no sign of forced entry. She was a 32-year-old female with no known enemies. Circumstances were home invasion or SA. It says that she was possibly SA'd. And like I said, that's only information this site has. But if you have any information, once again, Fort Wayne Police Department, I should have the number memorized by now. 260-427-1230. And now we have some men. There was not a lot of men in this one, just as far as I scrolled down. This is Audie Burrows. Let me find his information. So this is from March 1991 from Loris, South Carolina. So Audie was found with a GSW to the back of the head in his home on March 2nd, 1991. An autopsy ruled that the death was a homicide. No suspects have been charged in the crime. Audie was found face down on the bedroom floor around 8 p.m. on March 2nd. His sister, Sharon Porter, had gone to check on him after he failed to show up at an expected location. A 357 Magnum was found on the bedroom floor. Initially, it was thought to be self-harm, but during the autopsy, it was determined that the point of impact for the gunshot was behind Audie's right ear. Possible investigative paths include DNA processing of the recovered firearm. So hopefully they did process it. So I'm assuming what they're saying when they said that what changed their mind about it not being self-harm was it was found behind the wound was found behind his right ear. So maybe he was left-handed. Because if you're right-handed, it would be easier to do it from the right side, obviously, and if you're left-handed, it would be from the left side. It says Audie was a member of the largemouth Bassmasters, the Swamp Fox Bassmasters of Loris. He was married to Sandra Martin Burrows. He was employed in his family business, Burrows Sprayer Manufacturing Company of Loris. So if you have any information on Audie's case, you can contact the Loris Police Department, once again in South Carolina, at 843-716-6519. And let me get back in chat for a minute. Yeah, Miss Anna says, another Indiana case. Oldness strike again. I'm telling you, them oldness are everywhere. Miss Lisa Joe says, I feel like I've heard of this one. Are you talking about Audie's case? Thank you, Miss Barb. Miss Barb says, I'm laying down. I'm listening. We'll share. Thank you all for what you do. Thank you. Turn my camera on. Thank you, Miss Barb. Much love as always. Please do check out Timmy's Legacy, YouTube, Facebook, petition, all in the description box. Miss Barb, telling you I can't talk. It's even worse tonight than it usually is. Miss Barbara is a warrior. Miss Paula says, did she live in an apartment or a house? Are you talking about Luella? Let me an apartment. If you're talking about Luella, she lived in an apartment. Because it says she was attacked and killed in her apartment. Now, if you're talking about a different one, Paula, just give me the name if you remember which one it is, and I'll go back and look for you. Miss Ann says she recognizes this one. Are you talking about Audie? Yeah, I think this one, when I looked at it, the name sounds familiar. All right. Let's see who we got next. This is another 1974, another male, another gentleman. Let me find it. There it is. This is Eric William Zolan, or Zolan. This is from November of 1974. Once again in Killeen, Texas. We're back to Killeen. So apparently Killeen, nothing against Killeen. I've never been there. But apparently a lot of stuff happens in Killeen. So on January 12th, 1974, at around 2:40 a.m., Killeen police officers were dispatched to the MOD room in the area of North 38th Street and East Veterans Memorial Boulevard about a deceased male. The original caller said that a male was slumped over a steering wheel in a taxi cab. Foul play was determined, and the case became cold after several years. The deceased was identified as 24-year-old Eric Zolan, or Zolan, once again, GSW'd after a scuffle with an unknown assailant. It says robbery may have been the motive, and several suspects were identified, but the case went cold. He was last seen by his fellow cab drivers. So apparently he was a cab driver. Okay. He was last seen by his fellow cab drivers leaving the Fort Hood NCO club with a black male. Zolan was wearing a white shirt, a nylon cream-colored pullover shirt, and green pants. Well, now it says that some of this is confusing. A specialist, Eric Zolan, was an active duty soldier stationed at Fort Hood, Texas. He was moonlighting. Okay, so he was moonlighting with Kelly Cab Company and the U.S. Army full time. He was described as an introverted person. He was never in trouble. He was responsible. He was well liked by his unit, his Army pals. And he was a native of Fairfield, Connecticut. And he was, let me see how old he was. He was 25 years old. 25 years old. Once again, this is from 1974. So if you have any information on Eric's case, please call the, once again, Killeen Police Department at 254-501-8800. All right, let me see. Where are we at? This is Eric. Okay, let me check comments again. Then we got three more after this one. Okay, Miss Paula said yes, Luella. Yes, Luella lived in an apartment, Miss Paula. Yep, in an apartment. Thank you, Miss Ange. Miss Ange says, I'm going to head out. Thanks so much for all you do. Have missed you all. Yes, we missed you too, Miss Ange. Glad you're back. Glad you're feeling better or whatever. If you needed to take a break, whatever, we're glad to have you back. Absolutely. Yeah, hey Jenny, welcome Jenny. Yes, that let me go back. I had to read that. Yeah, it says that she was an attractive 302-year-old. Yeah, she was 32 years old. Yeah, because when I was going through them, 302, I was like, wow. Yeah, yep, yep, yep. Yeah, I noticed that because I was fixing to say 302, and I'm like, no, it's 32. But welcome, Jenny. Good to have you here. Another one of our night owls, as I call us, who regulars in Dave's Owl on the Prowl in his late night chats. Okay, so we were on. Oh no, we haven't done that one. Yeah, we were on Eric's case. Yes, definitely sleep sweet, Miss Ange. Absolutely. All right, let me mark there, and this is Libby Ray Ryan. Get her information up. I may just read through these last three, depending on how. Now, if there's a lot of information in them, I'll stop and check comments for any of you guys' thoughts on the case. This one doesn't have a lot of information. Oh, I don't know if Mr. Steve is still here, but this is the one that he'll get a kick out. I have something to say about. So this is from 1980, once again from Killeen, Texas. I'm telling you, I'm going to stay away from Killeen, Texas. So on December 7th, 1980, police responded to a report of a deceased woman. Investigation determined the COD was a homicide. The circumstances on December 7th, 1980, her husband returned home from work and discovered Libby deceased, and she is 24. It shows 24 years old. So the husband returned to find Libby deceased. The incident occurred between 12:30 a.m. and 7:24 a.m. An intense investigation revealed several suspects. However, this case remains unsolved. So in the additional details, it says this case was later assumed to have been connected with a serial offender, Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole, who provided information regarding this case. I don't mean to laugh, but whenever they bring up Henry Lee Lucas, and especially Otis Toole, as Mr. Steve would say, he would confess to anything for a 6-pack of beer or cigarettes. So apparently after Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole provided information regarding the case, they closed it on April 2nd of 1985. But then, surprise, surprise, later it was found that Henry Lee Lucas had fabricated, and Otis Toole had fabricated many confessions, and the case was reactivated. It just says at some point. Doesn't say what year. So I chuckled to myself when Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole came up. I thought, oh, Mr. Steve, I know what he's always saying about Otis Toole and the Henry Lee Lucas. So that's about all the information that this site has. Once again, Killeen Police Department, if you have any information, 254-501-8800. And let me see who we have next. Oh, let me go over and change the slide. Oh, wrong. There it is. Okay, so this is Kayla Mayberry. And this is from October of 1994 from Shreveport, Louisiana. So on Saturday night, October 22nd, 1995, Kayla Mayberry and her sister Tanya went to the Wet Bar on Spring Street in Shreveport. The sisters parked by the bar and went inside. It said the Wet Bar was 3 levels and it was packed, possibly due to a neon festival being held nearby. Tanya and Kayla found a table on the top floor. Kayla wanted to dance, but Tanya did not. Kayla went to the mid-level dance floor, and about 3 minutes later, So in just 3 minutes, about 3 minutes later, when the song was ending, Tanya went looking for Kayla but could not find her. So Kayla was the one that went down to the mid-level to dance. It says within 20 minutes of Kayla and Tanya arriving at the bar, Kayla was missing. Tanya searched the bar and surrounding area but could not find Kayla. Their mom joined the search. Police did get involved. 2 weeks later, on November 6th of 1994, Kayla's body, once again, trigger warning, Kayla's body was discovered in an abandoned house about 40 feet from the road near Elysian Fields, Texas, which is about 22 miles away from where she was last seen. Her body was found in a garbage bag bound by rope and sheer curtains, partially clothed and barely recognizable due to decomp. There has been speculation that her homicide may have been committed by locals because of the location of the abandoned house. Some hunters did use the house as a deer stand. Now, I don't see how you use that. That's a very different kind of deer stand. Well, there are deer stands that are at ground level. All the deer stands that are around here are up in trees. But anyway, some hunters use the house as a deer stand. Harrison County investigators questioned 30 people but did not gain any leads. And Harris County was on the Texas side. Shreveport police investigated numerous suspects. Kayla's autopsy showed that she was essayed and strangled. And the license that she had on her has never been found. So that means either somebody took it or it just got lost somewhere, and it's just, a license will be hard to find unless you just happen to stumble across it. So that is the information on Kayla. So if you have any information, call the Shreveport Police Department at 318-673-6900. And let me see how many. I think we just got one more. Okay, so we got one more. I'm going to go ahead and go through that, and then we'll get caught up in chat. This is, and for some reason, this name sounded familiar to me also. This is Tracy Lee Stratton. Go back over to my other tab. This is from August of 1981 from Garden Grove, California. So Tracy Stratton disappeared during the summer of 1981 from her hometown of Garden Grove, California. Her remains were located just 9 days after she vanished, but they weren't identified until a month later. She was the victim of a homicide, and her case is considered a homicide. No suspects have been identified or arrested, and it remains unsolved. She was last seen in Garden Grove on August 11th, 1981. She left her home on Westminster Avenue and Euclid Street. She was last seen talking with friends in a local park. She failed to return home by the following day, so her mother did file a missing persons report. However, once again, police suspected Stratton was a runaway, and police did not suspect foul play was involved. On August 19th of 1981, San Bernardino area police received an anonymous call, red flag, that led them to the skeletal remains of a teenage girl. Now, I say red flag, but it could be that it was somebody who either knew of or had something to do with her disappearance and death, or it could have been somebody that just stumbled across them and just wanted to remain anonymous, so that's why they made the anonymous call. It could be either one or something completely different. But those are the two possibilities that come to my mind. The skeleton was located 85 feet down a steep hillside. So that would make me think that if it was 85 feet down a steep hillside off California 38 in Running Springs near Big Bear, if it was 85 feet down a steep hillside, you would think that somebody wouldn't just stumble across it unless there was a path at the bottom of the steep hillside that you could have walked on. The victim had been deceased for at least a week and she was strangled. A month later, the remains were identified as belonging to Tracy. Police now believe she was abducted and her life was taken within 2 days of her disappearance, and her case remains unsolved. And she was, how old was she? 16 years old. She was just 16 years old. So if you have any information regarding Tracy's case, you can call the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department at 909-387-3687. And I believe that was the last one that we had. Yes, okay. Yeah, that was the last one we had. I always forget to turn my camera back on. All right, let me get caught up in comments right quick, and we will probably get out of here because we've been here almost 2.5 hours. That's not bad. Last night was 3 hours. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that is all the cases I have for tonight. Unless if you guys have anything else, please stick it in chat. If not, please hit the like button. Absolutely. Thank you to everybody who's been in chat. I love chatting with you guys and getting caught up with y'all. Thank you to everybody who's watching replay. We love our replay crew. Please do leave a comment. Absolutely. Welcome or thank you, lurkers who are out there. We love our lurkers also. I said this will probably be, like I said, unless I happen to have time to do late night, Friday night, maybe just something fun. Like I said, I don't know what we're going to have going on as far as family stuff going on Friday night. But I'll let you guys know as soon as I can. But I really appreciate all you guys being here, and I'm gonna get to everybody's last minute comments. I hope everybody has wonderful holidays. If you observe, even if you don't observe, spend time with your family, all the time with your family, friends, loved ones that you can. So very important, as we all know, unfortunately, from being talking about true crime. We know how things happen, and we're definitely not promised tomorrow. Thank you, Miss Lisa Joe says I'll send you RRL info. Thank you so much, ma'am. Absolutely. I would love to know more about Mr. Long. Thank you, Jenny, for being here. Good night, Jenny. I don't know if Dave is having, since it's the holidays, he may still have his late night, early morning, late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, usual live stream. Oh, I wish Paula. Paula says all night party. So maybe Friday night we'll get on and just do some fun stuff. Get away from true crime for the holiday. Before the holidays, we'll figure out something. Like I said, if depending on what I have going on. But thank you, Miss Paula, for being here, everybody. Okay, you're gonna have to. Lisa says it will stop me from talking more crap about CB until he takes down the posters he made to harass us. You're gonna have to. Well, I'm gonna go to your face. It's on your Facebook profile, right? I'm gonna have to go catch up on this CB, whatever that is going on. You have me intrigued. I don't want anybody harassing Miss Lisa Joe, Miss Spice Girl, our Spice Girl. Oh, okay. She says it's all over my Facebook and on A Voice for the Lost. Absolutely. Oh, I have no doubt that she can handle him. I have no doubt. Thank you, Miss Peggy, for being here. Absolutely. She says, take care and stay safe, everyone. Absolutely. Absolutely. Lisa Joe says, you think he would have learned by now. Well, some are hard-headed. They don't, you know, they don't take, either they're hard-headed, they just don't care. They just want to, you know, some people just want to wreak as much havoc as possible. Unfortunately. Let me find what I'm looking for here. Of course, I've got all my outros and stuff are all out of order. It takes me forever to find something. Oh, of course, it's always at the bottom. Yeah, Miss Paula. Yeah, Miss Paula says take him to Judge Judy. Yeah, Judge Judy will straighten anybody out. I'm telling you. Sometimes I get afraid because my mom loves to watch Judge Judy. She scares me through the TV sometimes. Yeah. Lisa Joe says she would eat him alive. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Like I said, if I don't see you again before then, everybody have happy holidays. Spend as much time with your family, friends, loved ones as you can. Relax, take a break from this true crime stuff. Let our minds rest for a little bit, decompress. And like I said, I'll let you know about Friday. We'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear. But I'm going to stop babbling and get out of here for now. Thank you so much, everybody. I love you guys. Absolutely, every one of you. I could not do this without you. The whole community, members, community, lurkers, everybody. Even the trolls out there. We didn't have any problems tonight. We're good. Like I said, I guess that was just a one-off. I don't know. Whatever happened last night. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Love you guys. Happy holidays. Have fun. See you later.